Tracey, Trials of a Long-Haired Girl here. Okay, so this is officially day 13. I haven't changed my little thing back there. So I gotta tell y'all, I was not feeling well yesterday. My allergies were kicking my behind. So as my husband's custom, we typically will eat out on Friday. So this time, because it's been ages since we've had it, I suggested Subway. So we got Subway for lunch. Kind of fit right along with my plan. And then my son had mentioned wanting Cane's, and I was like, well, can't really do Cane's. I don't think I have enough points for that, but I could probably do Chick-fil-A. So I figured out my points. Amazingly enough, I went with the grilled chicken nuggets. I have found that I can do that. Like if I'm in the mood for a crispy chicken nugget, nothing's gonna derail me. But because that's not what I was craving the waffle fries. I knew that I could have some. I could have the grilled chicken nuggets. I could have some of the ranch dressing sauce, and I could make that work with some, not all. So that's what I did. I had all of my chicken nuggets, which were the grilled. I had some of my fries and actually gave my husband the rest of them so that I would not be tempted to try to eat more. And I had some of the ranch sauce, which I promptly got up and threw in the trash when I handed my husband the rest of my fries, because I didn't want to risk it. I love ranch. I love ranch. So I knew that was what I needed to do. I needed to get rid of it. So I feel pretty good. I ate out twice yesterday, but I still was within my points. I ended the day with 24 points. So while it wasn't the 20 that I was shooting for, I still did get a blue dot. And eating out twice, I can't say that's a horrible thing. With, going into the new week, I'm a girl with a plan. I've already input several of my recipes, so I know what I'm having. I need to insert what I'm doing tonight. But I'm feeling pretty good going into the new week. Let me tell you why, aside from the fact that I have a plan, and I feel good about that. By the way, thank you, Christy, for showing your breakfast bowls, because I think I'm actually going to do that for a couple days this week for my crew. I'm going to kind of alternate, but I'll go into that in a minute. So, as y'all know, last weekend was difficult for me. I didn't hit my exercise minutes, but I hit it every day this week, and a couple days I went over. So I feel really good about that. I stayed within my points mostly. There were a couple days I went over, but still got a blue dot, so I'm going to say that's acceptable. So I feel good about that. I've taken a photo every day except today. I need to do that. But, I've already gotten up. I've already gone shopping. I already know what I need to do. In fact, I need to add a couple things on the checklist to finish up. But I feel good about what I have going on. But this week, y'all, I went from 177 even from last weekend, down to 174.1. So I am down 2.9 pounds this week, which I am amazed at, considering I lost 2 pounds last week. So 2 pounds last week, 2 pounds this week. I mean, y'all, for real, I'm 5 pounds down in 2 weeks. And I'm not even a full 2 weeks in yet. So yeah. You know what? I'm going to take that all day long. And that may not continue through the rest of my 75 days. It may not. But it's getting me moving in the right direction, and it's honestly, this is helping me create more good habits, which that's kind of what I wanted to go into. I've had some comments. I know, Sandy made a comment that she was thinking about the 75-day challenge was a good thing, and for me it is. But here's kind of why I didn't ask other people to join me in doing this. Here's the thing. I struggle with being a quitter. There are certain things that I don't quit. Like, I have never quit paying for my Weight Watchers, and I've been paying for this for a really, really, really long time. So I'm not even going to say how long, but it's too long. They've taken enough of my money. Now I need to get my mind right. So that's kind of where I am with that. So I was watching Cooking with Kate, and I don't know how she's doing because she hasn't posted an update lately, but she posted when she started her second round of the 75-day challenge. But quite honestly, I knew that the parameters that he set out, 15 pages of a business book, a gallon of water, at least 45 minutes of your exercise outside, those things are not going to work for me right now. Because in case you don't know, I have really bad allergies. I went to the allergy doctor yesterday, and she pretty much confirmed it. I'm a few months shy of 4 years right now taking shots. But here's the thing. I know they're helping me, and when I do all of the things that she wants me to do, they don't bother me as bad, but they still bother me. I've had allergies since I was a little bitty girl. Like, I can remember waking up and I could not open my eyes because the eye gunk was so bad it had my eyes sealed shut. I would have to cry out for my mama, and she would have to get a warm wet cloth and try to get it off because my allergies have always been that bad. So I know this about myself, and I know that while yes, I enjoy going and walking outside or spending time outside, I can't do that every day. Like, I can't. I will wind up sick, which means that I won't finish the challenge, and that's not going to work for me. So in taking in some of the various things that I have read, listened to, etc. over the years, taking in all of this thing that's in my brain from various sources. Like, Chris Powell made a comment in one of his books early on that one of the reasons that we sometimes need to start with the bar kind of not super low, but low enough that we can attain it, we can hit that goal, is because we have failed ourselves so much that we no longer trust ourselves. And I am 100% I am in that boat. And I know this about myself because I have failed myself on multiple occasions. I have set myself up and not followed through. So for me, I knew my mind had to be in this challenge, number one, and number two, that I had to make sure that what I set was attainable for me. So, and like in talking to some different people, like Kim even made the comment to me, she's like, Tracey, 90 minutes is a lot. Yes, it is. But because most of the time I stop, I try to do 10 minutes every 2 hours, which I've talked about that before. And if I do that 4 times a day, that's 40 minutes. That gets me 50 minutes away from my goal of 90 minutes. So I felt like it was completely attainable. And, things I've kind of noticed Getting up has gotten easier for me. Not every morning. And when it's not super easy for me, I have noticed that my little baby dog has been getting up, and I hear his tap, 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 tap. And because I know that he has a tendency, because he's an older dog, he sometimes has a tendency to go tinkle in the house. I make myself get up and go let him out. Because I don't want to get up to, pee in the house. Let's be honest. So these things are kind of helping. So I found that is getting easier this week. It's like much easier this week. Coming up with my meal plan. We're back in the fall, winter kind of cycle of things. And I'll be honest, I'm excited. There is something about comfort food for me that just my mind shift changes, and I no longer am focusing on salad, but I'm figuring out ways that I can sneak additional vegetables into things, and that is good for me. And don't ask me why. Don't ask me why I can't do that so much in the summer, because all the plethora of produce, because I love that time too, but it's a different type of mind shift for me, and right now my focus has been on comfort food and figuring out how I can work that in. And I know that's a big deal for me. So, like, I don't feel weird saying on my meal plan video when I have done it, when it's this time of year, I don't feel bad saying we're having beans and cornbread. I don't. But that's one of the reasons. I chose to do this by myself because I knew that if I was doing it by myself, especially initially, without others around me, first of all, let me pause. I am very, very, very thankful to be a part of this YouTube community and to be a part of this additional adopted family that I have found, because there are some amazing inspirational people on YouTube. Some are older than me, some are younger than me, some are my age, but we all range. We all bring something different. As Kim would say, we all bring something different to the table. So my meal prep this week may not be the same as hers or the same as Joan's, or anybody else who meal preps, Amanda Seipert or some of the others. Mine may not be the same, but I know if I put it together so that it works for me, I'm going to be more likely to use that and be able to take it and run with it. And that's part of this process for me, is I have to figure out what works for me. So in finding all this out, and something else that, I've noticed, Ruth Sukup in one of her books, and I think it was Living Well, Spending Less. I think it was in that book that she actually said, if you want to add additional habits into your routine, to try to connect them to things that you're already doing. So, for instance, at night, because my husband and I have kind of shifted things around, because I take a longer time in the shower or in the bathroom when I'm showering, because I have to do, I have to put my coconut oil on my face, and my lotion on my face, and my lotion on my legs, and I have to do the stuff and the things, and so what I have figured out, because y'all, I was a bad child. I did not brush my teeth at night. Very rarely did I brush my teeth at night. And if we're being real honest, I did go through that phase where I didn't like to brush my teeth during the day either. So, I know, it's gross. I can look back on it now and go, what? Why did I do that? I digress. So one of the things that I'm doing for me to kind of, during this challenge, to create healthy habits for me, is because I know like I need to do my nose spray and my nasal rinse and things like that. I do that. I brush my teeth, and then I get in the shower. And then I finish getting ready for bed. I do my reading, that's what I do. That's working for me. And I feel good about the fact that that's working for me. So, I set goals for this challenge. I'm sorry, they're back there, and you can't really see them. But I set goals for this challenge that I knew that I could attain. Some days, like today and tomorrow, it will be harder for me to hit that 90-minute goal, but it's still doable. So that's where my mind was. If I can hit this easily 5 days out of the week, I can manage to try to fit it in on Saturday and Sunday. That can still be my goal, even if I don't always hit it. It can still be my goal. So I know that. Reading. Y'all, I sat down the other night. I used to love to read. Like, my mother and I would turn on the TV, lay on the couch and the love seat respectively, and read. There was noise in the house, but we were still reading. We were not focused on what was on the TV. I enjoy that. But the other night I sat down to read for my 15 minutes. And I wound up reading for probably a half an hour to an hour because I enjoy it. It's rekindling my love of things. And even when my husband was kind enough to cook dinner for me the other night and I had finished my reading, I still didn't want to turn the TV on. I wanted to read. And y'all, that's a big thing for me because I grew up with TV on pretty much all the time. And I've been binge watching a lot of videos on YouTube during the day when I'm working. I'm not watching them closely, but they're on. It's on for noise for me. And I enjoy that because I get ideas. And that's actually where I got one of the ideas for one of my meals this week. I'm doing a taco chili, and she's not a Weight Watcher, or I think maybe she was at one point, but she's not now, or maybe she was. Anyway, I don't know. But she inspired me. I entered it in the tracker. I know what I'm doing this week. Or at least for one meal this week. And then I've got several others on my mind that I'm doing. So I feel good about what I have going into the week. But each and every one of my goals, 4 of these, I've already finished one. This is my second one. This is more attainable for me, and I can set it in my mind, this is what I'm doing, rather than saying I'm going to drink a gallon of water. I do better with, I'm going to have 4 of these. And I think 5 of these would probably be a gallon, but I know I can guarantee myself that I can do 4 of these even on a weekend. And it's better for me. I know I can sit down and read for 15 minutes and take time for me. I know that I can do 90 minutes of exercise during the week, and I can focus on hitting that on the weekends. I know that I can take a picture every day. We typically try to get that out of the way first thing in the morning, but we didn't this morning. I know that I can hit my blue dot. It takes me some planning, and sometimes I have to rearrange some things, but I know I can. So I set it up this way so that I can prove to myself that I can do these things. And I can do them, hopefully, for 75 days. And if I don't manage to make it through the 75 days, then I've still got a huge start, and I'm incorporating additional healthy goals, into my routine. But like I was talking to my husband, I said I'm overwhelmed right now because there's so many things, because the weather's starting to turn cooler. There are so many things that I want to do so many meals that we don't often make in the summer because I don't want to heat up the house, that we make in the fall and the winter because the weather cools off, and it's comfort food. Like I used to make, especially when the kids were younger, I used to make a chicken pot pie that I got it off of one of the Weight Watchers sites back then. It wasn't Hungry Girl. It was they created this chicken pot pie recipe, and it was easy. It was using canned chicken and frozen vegetables or canned vegetables, and biscuits, and it wasn't super high in points. Half my size. That's what it was. It's half my size. But what I figured out is if I do it with the 2-ingredient dough, which is not difficult to make, I can make that. I can make it more point friendly for me. It's comfort food, and I can still enjoy it. My mother's cornbread, I've changed it up a little bit. I don't always put quite so much hamburger meat in, but I can have it, and I make a way for me to have that. Even if I'm not putting, a ton of bacon or ham or whatever into my beans to season them, I have figured out ways that I can work it in my program for me. But like the split pea soup, I want to make the split pea soup. I want to make beans. I want to make the taco chili. I've got so many ideas rolling around in my head. I know I can't fit in chicken and dumplings. I want to make all of these things, but I can't make them all at once because it's going to be too much. There are 3 people in the house. So I can't make 6 or 8 soups in a week and expect that we're going to be able to eat it all. It's not going to happen. So I'm trying to curb my enthusiasm a little bit, fix things that I think that we can eat in portions that we can eat them in, and then plan for the following week. So I've already got ideas in my head for the next week, and that is helping me because it makes it easier for me. So yeah, I'm not following his exact guidelines for this, but I'm making it work for me. Because he also says that if you fail in any one, to hit the mark in any one of your goals that he has set out for you, that you have to start over. And I'll be real honest with you. My son and I were talking about this the other day. If I did that, I would never hit 75 days. Never. So I built it in for myself that I can hit it for the most part. But even if I don't, it's still a goal that I shoot for. Is it perfect? No. Am I going to be successful all the time? No. But you know what? I can do it. I work towards it. And I may not always hit the mark. But it's kind of like the statement that I've heard before, you're running a marathon. You start getting winded or, get a cramp, that you can slow down, walk for a bit, stretch your calf out or whatever, and still manage to keep going. But if things get hard at mile 21 of your marathon, are you just going to stop? Are you going to say, yep, done, I managed to do this? No, probably not. And I'm hoping that by the end of this 75-day challenge that it's going to be kind of ingrained in me to hit the 90 minutes every day. It's going to be easier for me to hit the 90 minutes every day. But you know what? Even if I don't, I'm still doing things. I'm doing an active rest, or trying to do an active rest on the weekends. So I'm doing things that are fun for me, like taking a bike ride with my husband. I can do that, but I'm not in a place, he rides to work every day. I'm not in a place where I can physically ride for, 8 or 10 miles. I'm not even doing 4 miles right now. I'm doing about a mile. But that is still better than me doing nothing, which is what I was doing before on the weekends, honestly. So, anyway, that's the reason why I'm doing this the way that I'm doing it. I didn't want to try to have other people go in, and I don't know, for those of y'all who have been watching me for a while, you know I did try to start a challenge with others months and months ago, and it didn't go well. Like, I hate to say it this way, but I can't think of another term to use. I crapped out after, a week or so. So that's why this time I decided I'm doing this for me. Just for me. If somebody else wants to join in, if somebody else wants to jump in on the bandwagon, I am happy to support you while you're supporting me in this journey. But if I can do this for me, then it'll set myself up to be better equipped to help somebody else to do it. My son agreed to do it with me, and he's struggling a little bit to get himself started. But what I said to him is, you set your goals, I will set my goals. And that's kind of how we worked it. But I'm excited to see where things go. And I think that's a big part of this. It's not just that it's something new to me, which it kind of is, but I am feeling better about this, and I'm feeling my mind is in a better place. I'm feeling like I can achieve this. I can't say that if I followed exactly what he said and I did, if you fail at anyone, if you don't hit your mark at anyone, you have to go back to the beginning, or you have to read a business book, or you have to do I can't work that way for myself right now, and maybe in the future I can, but right now I'm doing what works for me. And as far as I'm concerned, any challenge that you set up for yourself where you are trying to set goals that are set out for you by somebody else, and you're not in that place and in that mindset that you can, it's going to be harder for you to do that. So do what works for you. In this moment, where you are, start from where you are and figure out how you can make whatever plan work for you. I'm doing purple because I know that works for me. But I'll be real honest. Much like Dee was doing when she was doing her magenta plan, which was blue with a focus on purple, for those of you who don't follow her, Dish with Dee did an amazing job of trying to focus on those good foods, and now she's made the switch to purple. But I still track everything. It's easier for me when I'm out to not necessarily, to focus on what I need to focus on. For instance, getting the grilled chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A versus having to try to figure out how many ounces those chicken nuggets are and going from there. But I'm excited, and I haven't been really excited in a while. And so I feel like that's a positive thing for me. So, okay. I have been talking now for far too long. Hopefully this kind of explains to you why I chose to do this the way that I did. I want to hit the mark. I want to do what's best for me. And if you want to join me in that, I'm good with that. But I can't lead when I'm not there yet. And I'm never going to be perfect. I know that too, ever. But I have a game plan, I have a mindset that is moving me in that direction, and I'm going to make this work for me. And I feel good about that. Anyway, I'm down 5 pounds in 2 weeks. Wow. This new focus, or renewed focus, I guess, has helped me a ton. I hope that it inspires you to do what you need to do for yourself so that you can be a healthier version of you. I'm going to go because I have much meal prep to do, and I may bring you along on that. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, have a great day, y'all.